Oftentimes, when vehicles come to rest in a ditch or a similar setting where patient access is limited, the typical strut placement will not work due to the lack of purchase points. Since the object is lower than the strut head, this causes the head to extend up above the object, oftentimes with a chain attached from the strut head down to the object. Struts are designed as columns and are meant to be loaded at the two ends, not along the sides, as this is beam or side loading. To avoid this problem and tackle below-grade objects with struts, in 2011, a useful technique was developed by members of the Darlington County extrication team, Les Baker, Jason Bell, and Jeff Burr, hence the name Darlington Roll. Essentially, the Darlington Roll is a means of using a strut on an object shorter than the strut. It involves the use of one strut on top of the object, creating a high point to engage a second strut on the ground beside the object. Not only can you use this technique in various types of scenarios, this method can also be applied in different locations on your object. In this video, we're going to highlight rolling a sedan from one side. The basic components typically used in the scenario are 2 rescue jack lifting struts, a 15-foot grade 80 chain, 1 ratchet strap, 1 cluster, and 1 Darlington head. Step 1. Place and secure the first strut into position. This is known as the lifting strut and is typically on the ground beside your object. If you're applying the strut at an angle or the ground surface dictates, you may need to secure the base with a picket or restraint. Step 2. Attach a chain starting at the front or rear of the vehicle, leaving the opposite side unrestricted. You will use a cluster at the opposite side as a choker for final adjustments later on. Use parts of the chassis for attachment points. Step 3. Place and secure the second strut, known as the static strut. The base of the static strut is placed on the vehicle undercarriage on the opposite side from the lifting strut. Secure the static strut with 1 or 2 ratchet straps on the opposite side of the undercarriage. Ensure these ratchet straps are run under the chain and avoid sharp edges or hot components. Note that if the strut base is restrained by a feature in the undercarriage, these straps may not be necessary. Step 4. With the chain grab and fittings of the CRG head facing each other, extend the struts up into the bottom of the Darlington head. Raise the chain into position over the top of the head. Slack should be adjusted at the cluster or by extending the static strut. Connect the chain to the rear using the cluster. The chain should be approximately even on both sides. Please note that the Darlington head does not need to be used for this scenario, but it simplifies strut and chain engagement in a quick, efficient manner. Step 5. Tighten all components by using the ratchet strap or extend the strut to tighten the assembly. This will draw the static strut towards the lifting strut while tightening the chain assembly. A tight assembly is important as it will begin to roll the vehicle as soon as the jack is extended on the lifting strut. Step 6. Install the jack on the lifting strut. Stage an additional jack nearby in case additional lift is needed. Step 7. At this point, the system is ready to roll. Operate the jack on the lifting strut and incorporate cribbing as you lift. Cribbing may also be necessary on the opposite side to prevent the vehicle from slipping. When fully extended, each jack provides 12 inches of strut extension. If additional lift is needed after the initial 12 inches the jack provides, replace with the staged jack and continue lifting until adequate clearance is achieved. The vehicle is now ready for patient extrication.